And I know it looks like I get scared for the reactions. And I know it looks like I just be hyping it up. I know it looks like that. I know nobody's taking me serious when I say I be that scared. I know you guys don't think I'm this scared. Welcome back to the Stanley Live channel. You guys have to stop liking the Wi-Fi videos as much as you guys are. It will help me keep some years on my life. But until you guys actually care about my mental health, we will be reacting to video from the one, the only, the homie Render. Disturbing footage of a player who doesn't exist. This isn't Wi-Fi, but it's another video by a creator like him named Render. We're gonna be checking it out this time. Let's get into it. Let go.
There's something so unforgettable about starting a Minecraft world with your friends, making memories with your pals, and knowing that you're not alone in this giant blocky universe. But what would happen if this friend of yours just disappeared? In fact,
that happens actually all the time. Have you guys ever tried to start a Minecraft universe with your friend group? That universe lasts 2 days, 3 days, and then all of a sudden you can't get the whole group back on it no more. It's like out of nowhere they turn into this person in this video right here.
Look back at the recordings you had with them. They were nowhere to be found.
Oh.
What if someone you thought was your best friend was never
What's good, Chi-Chi? Appreciate the first time chat. Whoa, that's crazy.
2 months ago, I was sent an email by a subscriber. Hey Render, I found this Minecraft channel that I think you might be interested in. Out of curiosity, I clicked on the link and found myself on a channel named Alex Speaks.
Nah, that picture looks mad ominous, bro. And I'm not even one to be like that, but there's no gleam in this child's eye, bro. Like, this is weird already.
The channel consists of 11 videos. On the surface, it appears to be normal Minecraft videos, but upon a closer inspection at everything reveals some of the most unsettling videos I've ever seen. And it all starts on the first episode.
Nah, you can't do that to me. It's the sound effects every time, bro. All right, if I get scared by 3 cows, y'all could laugh, because y'all been laughing at me for getting scared by 1 cow. Let me get 3 cows, 2 chickens, and 1 creeper. Then y'all could laugh.
The video starts off with our player in a brand new survival world. They take a look around before typing their first message.
Do you ever take things for granted?
He wanders around and starts picking up flowers before continuing to write more messages. He explains that he wants to use this channel to talk about his life and whatever's on his mind. Crafts himself a sword and starts killing more animals while at the same time picking up more flowers. The video cuts and then our player starts opening up to us.
A bit ago my family moved, so I can't talk to my old friends as much.
He goes on to explain his
Damn, no phone, no Kick, no MySpace, no Instagram, no Snap, no nothing.
Separation between him and his friends, but right after he writes something that catches me off guard.
They might as well be dead or something.
Okay, it's
see, and that's what happens when there wasn't no signs. Those are the signs. These are signs.
a weird choice of words, but he continues talking about the past with his friends and his opinions on moving, but then he does it again.
Basically the same as the world ending to some nuclear apocalypse, but then your friends all died already.
At this point, the video becomes uncomfortable to watch. He continues comparing his situation to rotting corpses, the dead, and nuclear apocalypse. He finds himself a lava pool to throw away his unneeded items.
Yo, I thought he was gonna kill him some animals. I thought he was gonna kill him some animals in the lava. Please don't take this account. Please, yo, this account just started making me money. Please, 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 please don't take it. This is all I have. This is all I have. I did not need this. Yo, please.
And out of everything he could throw away, he decides to throw away all the flowers he collected, and that's where the video ends. Although nothing weird happens in the video, it's quite abnormal behavior from our player. The description of the video reads,
First
Facts,
video,
GG.
nothing special. Things will get better, right?
The title and description both seem to
Nah, Ben, you gotta chill. You got to chill.
No, nothing special. Things will get better, right?
The title and description both seem to go back to the player explaining to us how he hates moving and wants to be back home with his friends. This person just appears to be sad, which could explain why he picks up flowers to throw them out. He may just be in a bad mood, although the way he compares his old friends as being dead is somewhat odd. But right now, we don't know if this truly means anything. One thing I did notice was when the player first joined the world, for some reason it was dark and raining. Loading up a new Minecraft world always starts you off at daytime, so why doesn't it do the same with this player? I think the weather could be symbolic.
Yo, he's cursed. Yo, if I start a Minecraft world and it's raining, I know that I'm not one of God's chosen ones. Like, you feel me?
To the player's emotions. Movies and TV shows have used gloomy and rainy weathers to showcase the character's sad emotions. So in the end, this player is just a sad kid who misses his friends. But I had no idea that there was so much more this kid was hiding from us. The video starts with our player in a base. They write to us in chat.
I did some mining earlier, but the recording isn't opening. I don't know why. I uploaded it to Drive anyway and put the link in the description if anyone could figure out why it isn't working.
In the description, they do put a Google Drive link that sends us a video, but we'll get back to that later because moments after writing his message, we get this.
Stop. Stop. Why'd the music go away? Stop. I don't like when they do that. Stop, bro. Stop. Oh!
We get introduced to another character named
Never in my entire existence have I got scared to where my foot touched the desk. My foot got on top of the desk. And I know it looks like I get scared for the reactions. And I know it looks like I just be hyping it up. I know it looks like that. I know nobody's taking me serious when I say I be that scared. I know you guys don't think I'm this scared.
Find_Nula. Nula gives wood and our player gives them armor and tools. He pulls up a picture of a house that he'd like to build and begins doing so. Time passes until Nula asks them where they got the house idea from. He says it was a house on an old friend's Minecraft server. It's obvious he still misses his old friends in an attempt to recreate the past. Out of the blue, he randomly writes,
I miss them a lot.
Then Nula says, you have me. Then he pauses for a second before typing, yeah. They continue building until he says his mom is making him get off and the video ends.
Who's bloking, Tim?
Before we review this footage, what is in the Google Drive link? If you paste it on a search bar, we're given a video of our player and Nula in a black room.
See, bro, that's weird, bro. That's weird, bro.
This obviously isn't the right video. He complains that the recording of him mining was an opening, but this doesn't seem to match with what he was talking about. Instead, we get a 7-minute video of our player staring at Nula. This video is in a loop because at 3 minutes and 10 seconds, he writes a few messages.
Do you ever wish you could turn back time? Speak to me. Why won't you answer me?
After that, the rest of the video is spent staring at Nula. We have 2 videos to dissect, so in order to understand everything, we'll have to start with the YouTube video first. Let's start from the beginning of the video. We get introduced to Nula. From the title of the video and the way they communicate, it's obvious this is a friend of theirs. But while they're talking to each other, there's something weird that happens. I'll play the clip for you, and I want you to see if you could point out what I'm talking about. If you still didn't see it, I'll play it back. When Nula goes to drop the items, they just disappear. We can see moments prior our player's inventory is nowhere near full, and Nula dropped the items, so he has extra inventory space, but somehow no one picks it up. It's a small detail, but very strange nonetheless. No other occurrences happen in the video.
It could just be like a glitch, it fell through the ground or something, right?
But we can see our player continue to talk about his old friends and attempts to recreate those feelings. feelings. Even when Nula tells him "you have me," he pauses for a few seconds before typing the words "yeah." In fact, I'm not too sure if they're even friends. This 7-minute video is the strangest thing we've seen so far. Nula doesn't even seem like they're a person in this video. Our player is obviously having a one-sided
Nula kind of feels like an NPC a little bit, like he not all the way there.
Conversation with Nula in an attempt to speak with them, but for Nula, they don't ever move, and this voidless room they're in doesn't help us answer anything. Instead, we're left,
King, I almost banned you just now,
with more questions, but with questions are answers, and episode 3 might just give us that.
okay?
Episode 3 is named New House. It looks like our player is looking at the image we saw last video.
Is he building his reality right now? Like he made a new house because obviously he just moved.
And comparing it to the one he built. He then types in chat.
Everyone kept saying people at new schools will be really nice.
He crafts himself a bucket and a hoe.
Who says that? Yo, have you ever been the new kid in a school? Who lied to you and said that the new kids are gonna treat you nice? Yo, they gonna make fun of you. They gonna make fun of your clothes. They gonna make fun of the way you speak. They gonna be cool with you eventually. Don't trip. Especially if you can hoop a little bit. You know what I mean? A little bit of athletics in there or something like that. You got a unique skill trait. They gonna mess with you. They gonna mess with you. But you will get made fun of. Like, I don't know who told you that they gonna treat you right off the bat. You might have like the student who show you around the classrooms and the hallway. They might treat you nice off the bat. You know what I'm saying? And then you might get like one extra like weird kid who nice, but you don't want that person to be nice to you specifically. Don't shoot the shooter. You know what I'm saying? Don't shoot the messenger. Morning, Elena.
Oh, and he writes to us some more before Nula finds him.
What's this?
Oh, just thinking and making a farm for you.
Then Nula asks them how he's doing, to which he responds with,
I miss
Enemy
being
is
helpful.
He
crazy.
continues ranting while Nula is placing a fence around his farm, but then Nula says that's a nice farm, and a few seconds after, Nula also replies with thanks. He replies for our protagonist, but they don't seem to notice or care, because right after he complains the roof isn't right compared to the original screenshot, so they planned on looking for a dark oak forest, but moments before the video cuts, we see this. We can just barely see something disappear through the window of the house. From a more clear frame, we can see the thing that disappeared were the fences Nula placed. How do we know this isn't just a poor video quality messing with us? Well, if we really want to know, we'll have to finish the rest of the video. The next scene starts off with our player typing.
Do people make fun of your name?
Noah?
No, like Matthew.
We find out that Nula's name is Matthew, but then our player types people just, I don't know. And then Matthew replies with, this school sucks. The video cuts again with
so
our
they go to
player
the same
mentioning
school.
that he has a cool project partner, and as he's typing some more about his school activities, he loses Matthew. He then seems
Freaking chicken made noise, man.
to stare at something before another cut happens where he seems to be in a dark oak forest. There he stumbles upon a village, and right behind him is Matthew suddenly appearing out of nowhere after disappearing a few moments ago. Before he could react, Matthew says there's books here, and he runs off into the village. As our player is collecting books, Matthew tells him there's a blacksmith. When he makes his way to the blacksmith, we can see what seems to be a burning building. He takes a look at it before ignoring it and entering inside to collect the items in the chest. They finally get the dark oak logs they needed and decide to head on back home.
Also, the quality is not me. That's the original video.
Then the video cuts to Matthew staring at something. When our player goes to check out what happened, he looks and sees Matthew's house is completely gone, and that's where we get a final message. I think there's someone else here. Where do I even start? With all of the things I pointed out, there was still so much more left unnoticed. Let's start off with Matthew's behavior. In this episode, he seems to really like talking for our player. Matthew compliments his farm, and then Matthew thanks himself for his own compliment. This could be his way of a joke, but I'm certain that this message wasn't a joke. Our player seems to be complaining about his school. In the beginning of the video, him saying he was told that people were going to be nice, then asking Matthew if people people make fun of his name could indicate people are picking on his name at school, which is why he goes on to say people just, possibly continuing the sentence with something negative, which would make sense why his next message says, "This school sucks." But he's not the one who says it. Matthew does. Matthew is not talking about school in general. He's saying, "This school sucks." It's very odd behavior, but that just brings another issue. Where did Matthew wander off to? He disappears in the forest. Our player,
that's what I was gonna say. How do we know it wasn't Matthew?
Calls his name and he doesn't respond. But moments after, Matthew is right behind him at a village without mentioning where he went and why he didn't respond. Matthew is being weird, but to understand why,
and then he wonder why he got no friends. You popping up on people like you Danny Phantom or something.
Have to move on to the next topic, the villager occurrence. Our player is looking at a burning house, but it's nothing out of the ordinary. It's thundering, so lightning probably struck the house. But in the next clip, when they run back home, we can just barely see something off. This house we see right here is very different from when we first saw the village. It looked like all the wood was burnt down. We can also see more houses like this in the background, comparing it to when we first saw the village.
Why does that even matter?
That the entire village burned down. Yes, lightning could have struck the house, causing it to burn, but lightning strikes happen while raining, and the rain quickly gets rid of fire. But from how badly these houses were burned, had to have been done by a player. Our player seems to have a flint and steel that hasn't been used, so it couldn't have been him, which leaves us with Matthew. Matthew was the one who probably burnt the village down.
Okay,
but if that's
not really that too terrible. I mean, is it messed up? Is he an arsonist? And does he have mental issues? Yes. But, you know, in the game of Minecraft, yeah.
The case, why? Well, this add on to his behavior with his previous actions, but that still doesn't explain why he does it. But right now, there's no way of knowing. Now that we have that out the way, let's talk about the real oddities, the stuff disappearing. 6 minutes and 40 seconds into the video, we see fences disappear. This is not normal, and this definitely is an equality issue. We can see the moment the fences disappear. I think it has something to do with Matthew, because near the end of the video, when Matthew dropped his dark oak log—
Wait! I'm getting it now. Everything Matthew's doing is disappearing. And Matthew is the one who helped him with the home. Wait, what if Matthew isn't destroying things, but his existence is being erased? And that's why there's no... Okay, let's see if I'm right.
We can barely see that they disappear. This is the second time this happened, where I pointed it out in the second episode. Why do things keep disappearing, and why is it that every occurrence where something has disappeared is related to Matthew? The 2 times he drops something to our player, they disappear. When Matthew places fences, they disappear. When Matthew builds a house, it disappears.
No, hold on. I'm actually kind of locked in. Oh my gosh.
Player ends it off with something is here. Could this something be what's causing all of this? And why is it only happening to Matthew? Buckle up, because this is where things get dark.
Bro, it's already been dark.
If you're enjoying this video, please make sure to subscribe. I'm in a sub race with my friend Flamefrags to 500,000 subs, and he's beating us badly. So only subscribe if you enjoy the video. Now let's move on to episode 4.
I'm scared.
Episode 4 begins with our player looking around in confusion. He walks to his house to see Matthew. Matthew then types in chat,
"Have you found anything yet?"
No, it could be trying to get under our skin though. It's like it's waiting to strike again soon, to eat us alive.
Again,
weird
our
word
player
choice.
continues to talk in an abnormal way, but we also have something trying to get under our skin. They seem to believe there is something in their world without their knowledge, and from what he's describing in chat, it's there to hurt them. Matthew replies with, maybe during the night. They believe that this thing could be out right now, and when they realize it's nighttime, our player starts rushing to make fences. He orders Matthew to make a tunnel while he builds a fence around the house, and they begin doing so. A few minutes.
What the heck is a fence gonna do to an omnipotent being that's able to make things disintegrate? You think a fence is keeping Beerus out? They think they're going against the vampires from Sinners and he has to let them in? The fence isn't gonna do nothing, bro.
Later, he builds a bunker underground and wants to show Matthew his progress. He exits the house, but then...
The bunker's gonna be gone.
notices that the tunnel he asked Matthew to make and saw him making was patch. He looks at him upset before the video ends.
Yup.
Why would Matthew dig out a tunnel, then patch it? Well, that's the thing. He didn't patch it. At 5 minutes and 37 seconds, we can still see the hole is there. And for the rest of the video, Matthew is next to our player, never leaving his sight. And somehow, the hole is still patched. In the beginning of the video, they were mentioning this thing and how it's coming to get them. From what we've seen, it seems like that assumption was made because Matthew's house disappeared. But what evidence is there that the house being gone is an entity being in the world? But for that to make sense, we need to understand who Matthew is. And episode 5 perfectly captures that.
What is he?
Episode 5 begins differently compared to our other videos.
He's in the
Currently,
air?
we aren't seeing our player's POV. Seeing a white hand, we can assume that we are seeing Matthew's POV. But what exactly is happening? Matthew seems to be staring at our player from a distance, but not only that,
That's so
where
creepy.
is his hotbar? We're never given an answer because we see our player go to get wood and we're given this clip. The video cuts from Matthew to our player's POV. Not only that, let's take a look at both perspectives. Judging from where Matthew is standing, we should technically see him somewhere around here from our player's POV, but for some reason, he's not there. He walks into the house and somehow Matthew is inside. Our player starts putting up trap doors on the glass and placing more fences to secure the base. He then writes to Matthew,
Are you mad at me that your base is gone? It's so easy. Just do what I tell you. You're just like Brandon even right now. He'd sit there and listen and not do anything like some statue you could just kick down.
What the heck is Brandon?
That's all they wanted. Nothing. I do the tiniest something and they hate me for a dark oak roof.
Why did you stop talking to them? You didn't even know you were moving yet. They sounded worried. Everyone you pushed, they sounded like they didn't even know what to say. That's not nothing.
Then the screen goes black, but not before one last message.
That's fear.
Let's pick this apart one by one, shall we? First, let's go over the conversation our player and Matthew
Who is Brandon? What is Matthew? Why are we swapping bodies?
seem to have. Our player gets upset that Matthew doesn't listen to what he told him to do. We can even see this in episode 4, the way he ordered Matthew around and got upset when he didn't complete it. That's all they wanted. Nothing. I do the tiniest something and they hate for a dark oak roof. Seems our player could be hinting towards an argument over
They're going through a lot, bro. I'm not gonna lie. They kind of giving married couple things.
the house we saw in the
Failed
early
married
episodes. Matthew responses, say a lot. Why did you stop talking to them? You didn't even know you were moving yet. He stopped talking to his friends before he found out he was moving, which could mean something might have happened beforehand. He adds on to this saying he pushed them away when they tried talking to him and goes on to respond to his message saying, I do the tiniest something isn't nothing. It's fear. Fear of what exactly? It couldn't have been fear of moving. He says he started separating himself before he even found out he was
like
moving.
he had a good amount of time to prep.
Given our player's lack of response, we can tell what Matthew says has a lot of truth to it. Our player is scared of his past, which could explain why in the second episode he couldn't explain why he didn't just play with his old friends on the Minecraft server that they used to play on, because he left on bad terms. What happened in our player's past that he refuses to share? A more important question, who is Matthew? Oh, well, Matthew is our player's friend, right? But is he really? There's lots of times where he just straight up ignores his messages and only talks about himself. Is he a real life friend? A family member? Online friend? With such little information on who Matthew is, he can still point out our player's lies, and he knew our player pushed his friends away. This information will make sense later in the video. We also need to bring up what I pointed out in the beginning of the video. He stares at our player and seconds after he's no longer there, he just vanishes. Do you see where I'm going with this? At 3 minutes and 42 seconds, Matthew is blocking the doorway. Out of frustration, our player goes to punch him out the way and Matthew doesn't move. He definitely hit Matthew because
he
we
just
can
goes
hear
right
the
through
sound.
So okay, so we got to the bottom of it. It's either Matthew's in creative or he doesn't exist. But you could drop things in creative. can't you?
Of hitting, not to mention immediately after he just walks through him with no entity collision. All of this evidence seems to keep tracing back to the same thing. Is there an entity in their game? Are they being haunted? Or could it be
Matthew's
that Matthew
the thing that's haunting them?
Isn't real? We get introduced to a new character named Donny Darko. He introduces his new friend to his world, but out of the blue, he writes to Donny.
This village we found was burning down.
Like from a lava lake?
No, there wasn't any there. Something's burning things down.
What?
It's going around lighting up shadows with flames.
A very weird conversation, but then the video cuts to our player at this new base we've never seen before. Maybe they're playing in a new world. He gives Donny gear, and some time passes before our player receives a message from Matthew.
Talk more.
Then Donny writes.
Oh hey, I'll be back in a bit, I have to feed my cat.
Then Matthew writes again,
Be more friendly.
with our player responding no and entering his
Nah, it's
base,
getting
staring
weird.
at Donny before the video cuts.
It's getting
If you
weird.
think we'd move on to the next episode, you would be wrong, because now we get a second POV.
Found out he also recorded a video too as well. Check it out if you want.
Joining a friend's Minecraft server, uploaded by Donny's123, the video showcases the same thing we saw in episode 6, except there's something different. There was a part in episode 6 that I wanted to leave out for this moment. I'll play you 2 clips in different POVs and I want you to notice what's off about it. In our player's POV, we can see Matthew, but he resembles a ghost. And for some reason in Donny's POV, we can't see him. How is this even possible? This seems to go back to my theory on Matthew not being real. This theory would answer why people can't see him. It explains why everything that has disappeared in all the episodes were caused by
There's
Matthew.
no
His
way. That's not
fences
how
and house
Minecraft
disappeared
works, though, is what I'm saying.
because it was made by a person who isn't real. If we look closely, we can see the dirt path Matthew created disappeared. It wasn't just his house, it was everything he altered. The blocks he dropped disappeared because he doesn't exist.
What's
It's
good,
not
McKinney?
possible for him to collect materials. That's how he vanished from the trees last episode. He's not a real person. But if that's the case, why is it that our
So
player
he's
is
an
the
NPC or something?
only one who sees Matthew? And if it's confirmed that Matthew never existed, then that would mean this entire time, every episode we watched, our player talked to no one. He has been by himself.
Then who am I looking at? There's no way he's playing on 2 keyboards or something. Who is this?
Entire time. But that still leaves another question. Why is Matthew here? Why does Matthew exist to our player? There has to be a reason. With us entering into the last few episodes of the series, we'll finally be able to understand everything. The video starts with our player in Matthew.
Kay, that's what I'm saying. Kay said, then who's responding to the messages? That's what I'm saying, because if anything, shouldn't the messages start disappearing too? Like, why are all the messages there but nothing else is there? Something is not adding up, and it actually might be there's something else in their world.
Underground. They seem to have made a tunnel and could be spying on Donny. Again, Matthew is still transparent. They wait for Donny to leave before digging into his base. They check out any changes with the
Let's get
base before
Smiley.
Donny comes back.
Yo,
Hey, what were you doing? Haha, it's been an hour?
dealing with some crops.
Hey, same here.
After talking a bit, our player drops some gear to Matthew, with Matthew obviously not picking it up. The next scene is them in a cave. Our player keeps mining ores, but never picking them up. Strange detail, but insignificant nonetheless. They then start talking more.
What's it like moving?
Our player pauses.
I don't know. You know, like
Dang, how big was this move? This move was having motion. His whole community knows about it.
when you wake up. Like right when you open your eyes and you're in between 2 worlds.
When you're still dreaming? Yeah, I've got a notebook to write down what happens there.
Then our player looks at Matthew. After a little more mining, something happens. I'll play the clip.
Oh, it's quiet. I'm gonna get scared.
And I just can't wake up.
If we go to the Donny channel, we can see a second video has been posted. Who is he? And the video showcases the same thing we watched in episode 8, except in Donnie's POV, there's a few things to note here. When our player dropped the items to Matthew, from Donnie's perspective, it looked like items that were dropped for him, so he picks it up. Reminder, Donnie can't see Matthew because Matthew only exists to our player. We can also see Donnie get confused.
So he's a Stan user or something?
Why our player keeps mining ores without picking them up, and he gets really confused why our player turns to stare at nothing.
What's good,
but from our
Conan?
player's POV, they were staring at Donnie. But the video doesn't end after our player is blown up. In fact, right before he's blown up, the video cuts and all of our player's loot is gone. We can tell
Why?
Donnie didn't pick anything up looking at his inventory, but the video continues from where we ended in episode 8.
Are you good?
Again, they knew what to say.
It's turning into
and you
not
don't-
even just about like only one person could see it. It's turning into like, yo, only one person could see it and interact with it. What if whatever the other dude's name is, what if he's the one who's the ghost? I'm just putting together theories now. I'm
Listen,
sorry.
no.
I always listen, man. What's up?
It's obvious our player is having a conversation with Matthew, but Donnie doesn't realize that because only our player can see the messages. Moving forward, the video cuts to Donnie leaving the cave and finding our player's actual base.
Donnie
showcasing
probably
this
weirded out, bro.
is all taking place in the same world.
Hacked is
In the
a good
house are armor stands, but we also see our player's name. Donnie digs down to him, and the rest is what takes place.
I woke up.
Hey, here's what's left.
Our player freezes before writing.
Do you ever wish you could turn back time?
Do you know what a Henley is?
No.
Neither do I. We should build one.
There's a lot of
What's
things
a
to
Henley?
look over in this video, so I'll try to cover them all. Our player is spying on Donnie. We know this because we can see behind them a long dugout tunnel he made. If we really understand the context of what's happening right now, things get really disturbing. Why is our player spying on Donnie? But we're never given an answer. Our player seems to still believe of Matthew's existence, constantly looking at him and dropping gear for him. There's also
Why wasn't Matthew hollow earlier in the video? He's just now hollow and see-through now and transparent now, but earlier in the video he was a fully, like, you feel me, type of figure.
point out, which includes two scenes. The first one being our player staring at our player when Donnie writes a certain message in chat, and then our player respawning in a black box. Donnie mentions his notebook being something he uses to write down his thoughts and dreams, and ironically our player looks at Matthew right after. This scene could have more beneath the surface. Maybe this moment could be ironic because that's what Matthew is to our player. A notebook he uses to write his thoughts and feelings to, which could explain
You wonder if Matthew could see both of them. That's a good question, actually.
why we always see conversations about our player's feelings, and could also explain what is going on when our player respawns. We see the same black box in a earlier episode, but we were left unanswered. But this black box might symbolize our player's thoughts. What we're seeing right now is Simon's imagination, and I say this because the only other time we see our player is when Donnie finds him in his bunker, and his first words are, "I woke up." The times we see our player in a black box could be our player dreaming, and all of it being in their head. So that
Bro, he got a Jinchuriki inside of him. What is going on?
means Matthew is all a part of our player's head, an imagination he created to talk about his feelings. And if you still don't believe my theory, that's fine, because we still have
How do the chat logs exist then? Is he typing back and forth?
one last video to watch.
All right, show me.
The video starts with our player staring at his crops. He
Right.
continues doing this for another 3 minutes before typing out a message.
Do you ever wish you could have seen the future?
But instead of entering the message, he deletes it instead. He finally moves
Bro, there were signs he needs to be taken care of. Yo, he's a risk to himself.
out of his spot to see Donnie building a treehouse. He asks him if he has any dark oak, to
I promise you, I thought he was gonna ask for a material that is long and can be used to tie things with.
which Donnie says no, so he checks inside the house for some, but he goes down to his bunker and there he sees Matthew standing in a tunnel. They stare at
Oh my gosh, I could barely see him at this point.
each other before our player places down a sign with the following message.
Dear friend, I can be better this time. Goodbye.
He turns around and Matthew is gone. Our player drops all of his armor on the floor from where Matthew was standing, and he heads out his base and glances to his right before noticing something on the ground: an iron leggings and chest plate, an iron axe and pickaxe. These 4 items also happen to be the same items our player dropped to Matthew in episode 2. Not only that, but our player picks them up in the exact same spot he dropped the items in. When moving forward, our
Oh my gosh, wait, so the
checks out the treehouse and offers Donny some help to build the treehouse before the video ends. This video showcases Matthew leaving for good. When our player turns around to see Matthew is gone, it isn't a disappearing situation like we've seen before, because right after, it followed up with items on the ground that match with the items our player dropped to Matthew, and it makes sense why. Matthew is not real, and if this theory is true, then in episode 2, how would it be possible for Matthew to pick up items our player dropped for
But it would have despawned after all that time though, right?
him? That was a question that made me doubt this theory for a while, but we finally understand that Matthew never picked up those items and had been lying there on the ground this entire time. We notice a change in Matthew once we are introduced to Donny. These first 5 episodes, Matthew is fully visible and was always active with whatever our player had going on. But
And the more he started to make friends, the more he faded. The more he made friends, the more he started to fade away. Oh my god, that's so precious, bro.
once Donny joined, Matthew became transparent, almost like he was slowly fading away. When our player went to place that sign and saw Matthew was gone, he was gone for good. But why does he leave? Because of Donny. In our player's first episode, he complained about missing his old friends and how he had trouble with making friends in school. But after meeting Donny, our player finally shows signs of happiness in himself. That's why before Donny was introduced, Matthew would always talk to our player with intentions of making him feel better, because Matthew was just someone our player created to comfort him during these times. Also, Matthew's name, find_Nula. We know what the word find means, but what does Nula mean? And a few weeks ago, that's when I searched it up and found this. From the Latin word nulla, meaning none, nothing, or the number 0. It was hinted in Matthew's name. It was just under our nose the entire time. But in the end, Alex finally got his happy ending. But then I also remember that since Matthew isn't real, everything he does doesn't actually happen. Yet somehow in episode nothing, we get a POV of Matthew. But if Matthew isn't real, how does this footage even exist? This minor clip brings in a lot more questions and puts a big stop to everything I've theorized. But unfortunately, there's just some things I can't answer. But hey, what's a good mystery without an unanswered question?
Don't ever put kids laughing at the end of your video again. Don't ever do that to me again. Yo, that was terrifying. Bro, he would have to be playing off of 2 computers and talking to himself, but we seen them move simultaneously. He would literally have to play like this. Okay, what I gotta say to that is, this is a great example of to put value into yourself on top of your friendships. And I say that because in life, there's going to be inevitable times where you have to move away from certain people. You're going to have to disconnect from certain people, where you lose certain people. And the joy that you lose when they are gone sucks. But it will also help you through whatever you're going through if you have that joy within yourself. So although you do go to a new school and you do miss your old friends, or you lost a family member, or you lost a sibling, whatever the case may be, friend, whatever, relationship, partner, a part of you being happy with them is you. You get what I'm saying? You were some of the happiness and they were as well. And you need to take some of that happiness that you created for them and for each other for yourself. That way, whenever time comes and you end up splitting from whoever that may be, you can still find some happiness within yourself. And you don't put yourself in a situation like Mr. Matthew right here. With that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Goodbye. Peace.